These are the performances that these Super Bowl-bound teams deserve a little more love for. And we got to start with Gonzo, allegedly, Patriots corner. Christian Gonzalez was not the easy, what a career. Young career, dealt with adversity, and now it's all time to cash in. He settled in, okay? Obviously, the game-stealing interception, the big one. Heck of a time for his first interception of the year. That was his first one of the year? Atta boy, big moment. Shades of Stephon Gilmore, okay? Speaking of, opposing quarterbacks have a 0 passer rating when throwing his way in the fourth quarter of this postseason. The last corner to do that, Stephon Gilmore, the last time the Patriots won the Super Bowl back in 2018. I want to point out another play that made a big-time difference in this one that kind of got lost as the game played out. It was 3rd and 4. 30 seconds to go on the clock as the clock dwindled down to halftime. We're tied at 7-7. Jarrett Stidham looking, scramble, and Christian Gonzalez, there he is. He had the awareness to say, I'm going to step up here, I'm going to cut you off, Stidham, and force you out of bounds for a 2-yard loss. Then it goes for a sack, which, you know, he doesn't do that. And Stidham turns the corner, picks up the first, and the Broncos literally end up with an easy field goal that maybe they make, maybe they don't, who knows. And it forced Will Lutz to have to kick a 54-yarder, which he missed. It was a good play at the time before we knew a blizzard was going to hit, or maybe we knew, I don't know how that even all happened. Massive when you look back at how the rest of that one played out. And now Christian going to get JSN in the Super Bowl. That matchup is about as good as it gets. And it won't be about erasing him. It'll be about how much can you contain JSN, who's going to get the ball a lot. Okay, other Atta Boys. How about this? Rhamondre Stevenson. Love him. Always smiley. Always a great attitude. Love when I get to see him and interview him. But he really did all the dirty work for the Patriots to get this win. He tied a career high with 25 carries, most of which came when the Broncos knew he was getting the ball in tough conditions, picking up 71 hard-earned yards. God, he really did his thing, didn't he? 4 first downs. Atta boy, Rhamondre Stevenson. It wasn't just what he did in the stat sheet, though. He had the lead block on this touchdown. The pass protection. The only reason Drake had time to throw the flea flicker to Matt Collins was because of our boy Rhamondre. So freaking fun. And he had consistently, really for this stretch down the season into the playoffs, he has made every big play. And to think of where he was earlier this year, there was some adversity, there's been injuries in his career, questions, tough media love, fan base love, being on the edge of losing his job, fumbles were part of his story earlier this season. From that to being a very productive offensive weapon on a Super Bowl team. Attaboy, Rhamondre. Love seeing it for you, happy for you, and excited to see if you are doing snow angels in the confetti at Levi Stadium. And let's go to the Seahawks side here. This one's interesting in... Sometimes there's actually just these obvious moments where you kind of like overlook the whole picture, the whole story. And I don't want us to do that when it comes to Demarcus Lawrence, okay? He's had success, Cowboy, 5-time Pro Bowler. He's going to the Super Bowl, though. He's tasting this for the first time in a long career. This is his first year away. He's in Dallas all this time, and he leaves. He goes, and he's been a monster in the playoffs. His first half strip sack of Stafford was a big moment in this game, holding the Rams to a field goal. This comes a week after he had a strip sack of Brock Purdy as well. His presence off the edge has been such a big factor for this Seattle defense all season long, and he's made some of the biggest plays this year. So attaboy to him. He's also got a chance at some history in this Super Bowl as well. In just 2 games, he's tied for the 3rd most forced fumbles in a single postseason with 3 of them. He's the first to do that since Robert Mathis in 2006. And if he gets 2 more in this game, he ties Bears Super Bowl 20 MVP and Hall of Famer Richard Dent for the most ever. And of course, Dent also made that happen against the Patriots, Warriors, back in '85. Just saying. Did we miss any? You guys let me know. At Up and Adam Show. Do we miss any Attaboys? Who do you want to nominate? It can be a fan, it can be a coach, it can be whatever. Didn't get a chance to talk Broncos yesterday, so I wanted to take a little moment here. If anyone had any questions, which they shouldn't have, Attaboy, Bo Nix, question mark? He's trying to rev up the crowd. He showed up to the game. This unavailability, sometimes when something's missing in your life, you realize how valuable it is. You can't go on without it. You don't want to go a day without Bo Nix in your life. And it's not to take away from what New England did at all, but things might have gone very differently. Things would have gone very differently had Bo played in this game. No disrespect to Jarrett Stidham. The hype was too much for him. I hated that. I hated the hyping of him. I didn't, because then it was such a freaking letdown. I don't think the weird fumble happens if Bo's out there. He's probably taking advantage of opportunities that were available earlier in the game. He's irreplaceable. I didn't like this narrative that oh, Bo, no problem. Set it and forget it. Ronco Grill. Let's just get this guy Stidham in here. He'll be great. He might even be better. No, you needed Bo. You did your best. You needed Bo. Bo wins this game. There was a record-tying 8 game-winning drives for Bo this year. And what did it come down to in this one? 3 minutes to go, down 3 with the ball. Stidham throws a pick. Bo is not doing that. It's why he's the starter. And it's why I didn't like talking about him as if there wasn't going to be no difference. All the circumstances were stacked against Stidham, but it was very clear that this team missed Bo on Sunday. That's okay to say. It's why he's going to get paid the big bucks and why they should be right back here next year. And it sucks for those players, those fans that have the year end like this. Broncos fans, I love you. I hope you're okay. They've gone kind of quiet, Broncos fans. They're like the anti-Bills fan. They are grieving in a insular way. Probably smoking cigarettes, Hamilton. Somewhere. But they are are you hearing from our Broncos fans no, they're this sucked and we're going to grieve it. And we have a whole lot of dough to Scrooge McDuck through, some coins, and add to our team, and we'll be right back there. But I tried to warn, I didn't like this the whole week. I didn't like the Stidham. I didn't like the PR of it. I didn't like the Bruce Arians, I didn't like the plug it in and it's fine. I did not like that. It was not fair to Stidham. And it's not fair to Bo.
Yeah, it's not. And, I love the support that Broncos fans threw behind him, but when it's that whole narrative, that he's just going to come in and be fine, it's putting, like you said last week, it's putting a ton of all of the pressure on Stidham. You just want to come in under the radar, low expectations, you're the backup, and, the undersell, over deliver type of thing. And he didn't get the chance to do that because it was just an insane hype train all week.
The fact that they got here when they're still paying Russell Wilson money is crazy. And that will be off of their financial shoulders for next year, which is great. Okay. Separately, I do want to say this. I do not subscribe to this idea that we're just going to universally go back and say the decision to go for it on 4th and 1 in the second quarter is the reason the Broncos lost this game. This is my PSA. These are my thoughts. Every single head coach in his right mind goes for it there, okay? We're hearing opinions from all corners of the earth here. I would have loved to see Denver run the ball. Do not get me wrong. I would have loved it. We can debate the play call itself all day. It was fine to go, whatever, not took the points, but the play call was so vanilla, granola, whatever. Let's say the Broncos kick the field goal there and everything plays out similarly. This game goes to overtime. And do you have any confidence their offense is going to do anything in that driving snow? Are y'all thinking this through? If they pick up that 4th and 1 on the other hand and go in to take a 2-touchdown lead, the game is over. And it's not like we knew the weather was going to turn into that. We did not know. Feeds into the unpredictability and the scariness of playing in Denver. You should have confidence in your offense that you can pick up one freaking measly yard, right? You've been moving the ball. You did have nearly 3 quarters after that play to try to win the freaking game. Enough about the call. Enough about the call and that decision.